In this video I'll show you how to create this amazing bullseye pattern in Algorithmically. We start in the flowchart editor and the first thing we do is to enter graphics mode. That's a procedure, so we add a procedure block and then we choose which procedure to run, enter graphics mode. Next I'll just do a quick demo of how to draw a circle, just a plain old circle, on the graphics screen, and this is just as you'd expect. Nothing more complex than calling another procedure, called circle. This one needs some custom parameters, so let's say, coordinates x and y are 67 and 45, and let's make the radius 23. Now let's run the program and see how that goes. Wow! Amazing! We have a circle here. Let's go full screen for a moment to see it better. By the way, don't you love my AI voice? Haha. Okay, now I'll delete this circle, because we want something else here. We want a gazillion circles. We do that, of course, with a loop. For this loop, we need to have a variable first, so let's declare one, an integer, called r for radius. We initialize r to 0, that's an assignment there. Then we add the while loop. And the while condition is, because our screen is 320 by 200 pixels, we want the radius to go up to 100 pixels, so let's do that. Let's clean the screen up a bit. Let's hide the console and the variables panel. We don't need those anymore, and see what we want to do inside the while loop. We want to draw a circle, of course, so that a procedure call, oops, wrong procedure. Let's switch that to the circle, and set proper parameters on it. The center of our 320 by 200 pixels screen is at 160x position and 100 years position. So we set those, and we want the radius to be our variable r, which we just declared, but oh, that's a variable, not a constant. So let me choose the right button here. And then we want to increment r, that's another assignment. We want r equals r plus 1. Okay. We have a first version of the program, so let's run it and see how it goes. Amazingly, it draws a bunch of white circles. Let me slow it down a bit so we can take a better look at what is going on. Let's go full screen here. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. But to get that cool bullseye pattern I showed you at the start, we'll need to add some color. So let's play a bit with colors. The way it works in Algorithmically is that you choose the graphics color, and then whatever you draw on the screen draws in that color. So I'll add another procedure call right here before we draw our circle, and set the graphics color to 2, which I know is green. So let's see what that did. Yep, we're getting the same pattern, but it's now green. Speed up a bit here. And now, to add the final touch, we'll do that rainbow thing. We have a color palette in Algorithmically, going from 0 to 255, like in the old VGA graphics mode, and it just so happens that our radius is an integer that goes from 0 to 100, so let's use that for the color and see what we get. We'll just pass the radius as the color index. Now let's run it. Wow, that's really cool. So let's recap a bit what we are doing here. First we set our r variable to 0, then we enter a while loop, which will keep running while r is less than or equal to 100. In the while loop we set the graphics color to r, which is fine. It never goes over 255, then we draw our circle in the middle of the screen. Finally we increment r. We saw it running in slow motion. It can run a lot faster if we remove the delay. It's almost instant, but I kinda like waving it executing step by step like this. Okay, and one final thing we're going to do. So we said the palette goes from 0 to 255, and our radius goes from 0 to 100. So we saw the first 100 colors from the palette. But now if we, instead of setting the graphics color to R, we set it to R plus 100 here, that means we'd see the colors from 100 to 200 instead. Very nice. So that's the bullseye we saw at the start, made in Algorithmically.